Okay, we are Magma, and our project is we are making instructions for a new kind of heating system and doing research on effective instructions. And our logo is a volcano and magma because heat out of the ground. This is our team. I am Peter West. This is Justine. We've got Tom and Amanda. And we are all in interactive multimedia, 3 of us specializing in web. And the different skills we have really helped us come together and get our project done. The product we're making instructions for is called LETS, which stands for Latent Energy Transfer System. And latent energy is the energy it takes to transfer states. So by freezing water, you are taking heat out of it, which is what you will heat the house with, which is kind of a neat concept. So you're making ice, getting heat. This is how a refrigeration unit works. You've got a compressor going up here, raises the temperature and pressure. You have the coil that will be in the vent, where the heat will come out, turn it to liquid. Underneath in the ground, with this one, you will have it getting really cold when the pressure drops, and it will become a liquid and vapor, and it will vaporize. Why do we get heat from the ground? Because the air changes a lot. When it's cold outside, you want heat. The further down you go, the more stable it is, the more difference it is, the easier it is to suck heat out. So that is why they have the product that is taking heat from the ground. Currently, with the heat pumps that are geothermal, either they put big loops in the ground that they have to pump a fluid through, so you need a fluid, you need the pumps, and you need 2 transfers. You lose a lot with that, or you need to dig 2 wells, suck water up, put it in. You can contaminate the water source, cause more. This one, it puts the condenser straight in the ground. No extra pumps, no extra wells, straightforward. That's why we're excited and why we wanted to make instructions for installing this, because this is different from what's out there, so they need good instructions to figure out how to train people on how to install this. And the problem is, how do we get the instructions to the people we're training? And if you look at, so we got to figure out what channel, how we encode the information in a way that they'll decode it, and they're going to get what we're trying to send them for the instructions and not get confused. The important thing is memory retention. And 3 big things we're looking at for memory retention are learning styles, which is the main thing we're looking at that affects how different people learn. Chunking, you have to break things down. If you break things down into smaller groups, it's easier to remember more stuff than everything at once. And repeated retrieval. Thinking about retrieving brings it back. The first learning style is visual. That is the easiest one to target on computers because it's pictures, it's text, and that is what you usually get on a computer screen. So visual learners would be easy to do with a computer. Auditory learners are ones that learn through hearing stuff and through words and sounds, and basically you give them instructions verbally and they will remember it the best. And those you can do with a computer without too much trouble because you just basically have to put sound with what you're doing. Kinesthetic learners are learners that do, perform, interact to learn stuff. That is the hardest group to target with a computer usually, and that is the group we're needing to target with this because we found that most people in the ACNR industry learn this way, and that's why they're drawn to that industry, because it's more of a hands-on industry. And then here's an example of the chunking we're working with. If you take these letters all together, you've got a whole bunch of letters to remember. But if you break them down into 5 chunks, you can easily remember that. And each one of these can be broken down into 3 or 4 letters, which you can easily remember and is linked to that. Also repeated retrieval. During the instructions, if you give quick quizzes, it makes them retrieve the information you just gave them, and no matter what kind of learner they are, it will increase their memory retention, which is the goal of any sets of instructions. And then clarity of images for visual components. As you can see, if you just take a photograph of something, you have no clue what's going on there. But sometimes if you take a model, you break things apart, you can make what you're doing much more clear, which helps with the chunking and helps with understanding what's going on. Problems with current instructions is a lot of instructions for things, static piece of paper, whole bunch of text. Text isn't really broken up. They look a lot like this. A lot of times it's actually black and white pictures instead of color pictures, and you get just visual, you have no interaction, and it is very hard for memory retention. A lot of people won't even read it. Now, if you have something that's interactive, you touch it, you do something with a mouse or the screen to move it, it helps kinesthetic learners, it helps you retain stuff, you have less text, more, and with each image, it's broken up, it helps you clarify the step, and it chunks it too. Our methodology is we made 2 trainings. The computer, when we have someone come in, will randomly assign them to one of the training groups, and it won't let them on the page for the other one. And then they take the same test at the end of the training, and we're going to compare that results to see if the way we made the changes to be interactive are different. There's 2 quizzes they're going to take, which we're not showing here in case any of you do the testing. But the first quiz they take immediately after the training, because we want to see, did the information get in their head initially? And did we put it there? The second quiz they'll take later, a day or 2 later, to see, can they retrieve it long term? Did we get it to stick? Our final presentation is 10 a.m. April 19th at the Daniel Center, and I hope you all come watch us.